Thank you very much. So here we are with my final game of the marathon, and this is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is my favorite speedrun of all time. And I do have a backup file right here in case I mess up anything in this one. So we just had that for safety reasons. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So for this game, we're not going to have Tails with us this time. Although it is actually faster to have Tails with you, but I haven't quite learned the tail strats yet. I'm just more used to doing like solo Sonic for this one. So this is a fairly long game as well, and there's two halves to this game. So we got the Sonic 3 half, which is what we're currently doing right now, and then we got the Sonic and Knuckles half, which is once we get to Mushroom Hill Zone. So first things first, we're gonna get the fire shield here. We're gonna use this to pretty much take the boss fight a little safer. Not this guy here, but the next guy that's coming up that looks just like this guy. Oh, maybe it is this guy who's just kind of there. But so the island's gonna be set on fire, but we're completely fine because, you know, it doesn't really affect us even if we don't have fire or the fire shield. So the fire shield allows us to do an air dash. So these special shield mechanics only applies for Sonic. It doesn't work for Tails or Knuckles, even though they will get the other properties as well. So with fire shield, you can be protected from lava. If it's a bubble shield, we can pretty much breathe underwater just fine. And this will be the only instance we will see the bubble shield in this run. And it also gives us the ability to bounce as well, which doesn't really help with a lot of things except for just one spot. And then my personal favorite shield, which is the lightning shield, that'll attract rings to you and you're safe from electric things, and gives you the double jump as well. So and all of those just apply to Sonic. So just like in Sonic 2, our main form of movement will be spin dashing, but once we get to Hydro City 2, that's when things will get pretty broken. And yeah, they're pretty fun. It's a very broken game, and either things will go right or it'll go wrong, whichever the game decides to give me. So but yeah, as I mentioned in the previous run, this is my favorite game of all time. Like, I really love this game. I could always go back to play it, especially like from a casual standpoint. Speedrunning wise, yeah, I love it as well. Like, this is like the one game I always enjoy showcasing because of how broken it is, and like a lot of memories of, you know, playing this game as a kid and such. So we got this mini auto-scroller section. I think I got the setup correctly, but I'm going to try to do a cutscene skip here. And by manipulating the game's memory, or the RAM address, it'll basically skip the Knuckles cutscene after this level. So we'll see if we can get it here. First off, we got to do the Robotnik fight. Gonna be careful not getting hit by those fireballs, and this is what we have the lightning shield for, is just to safely get back on the ledge, as well as get the capsule that's above. So for this game, the timing is actually slightly different compared to Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, and unfortunately we didn't get the cutscene skip. That's only like a 5-second time loss, which is no big deal. So for the timing method we normally do for this game is RTA minus TB, or minus time bonuses. So what that is, during the time bonus screen, the timer will pause for the frames that the score is being counted down, only for the time bonus. And we keep the RTA style for this game because the boss fights stop as soon as you beat it. So, or like the time stops when you beat the boss. So, and like the timer doesn't continue like it does in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. So there's like a few inconsistencies when it comes to timing in this game. So, which is why we do it like with RTA minus TV. Also, another interesting fact about this one, the Insta Shield. For the longest time, I thought it was the most useless move in the game. But it turns out to be very beneficial, not only for the speedrun, but just in general. So what the Insta Shield does, it actually protects Sonic for a few frames, and it also expands his hitbox. So you're able to kind of do boss fights a little safer and such. It's the most craziest thing, like the mind-blown thing that I find out years later after thinking it is the most useless thing in the game, but it has a great use for it. I feel like it is the most OP move in this game, and I'm really glad the game has this. So alright, so here we are in Hydro Act 2. We're gonna take an intentional death here, and the reason being is we are unloading Act 1 from Act 2 because we're gonna try to go for a level wrap here. We clip into the ground, set up for the level wrap. I'm looking for a spin dash, and then I'm gonna look for the cube there, jump up, and we're into the boss fight. Up there. 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna stand on the tippy toes. We're like right at the edge of the cyclone there. And we're done with Act 2. So the reason why we take the intentional death there is to unload Act 1 from Act 2. If I didn't do that, then I would end up soft locking. So the reason why we do that. And here we are, Marble Garden. This is actually my least favorite zone in the game. For many reasons, especially like with the boss fight itself. Let's see if we can get this to work here. So I'm panning the screen down, then I'm gonna jump. I don't think this is gonna work. Nope. I tried to clip inside the spring while I was off screen, and this level is actually infinitely vertical. So I'm able to do a screen wrap, which is the vertical wrap, by releasing down and jumping on the frame I release it, and the camera just kind of does that. Like it'll just try to see where Sonic is, and while Sonic is off screen, the objects are actually deloaded, so I'm able to kind of pass right through them. And now for this section, I'm going to clip inside a spring here, which will enable me to go inside the wall, skipping a big chunk of it. This is actually the backup route. Originally I wanted to do a level wrap route where it'll take me towards the boss fight. So now in this section, we're actually going to be fighting the Act 2 boss in Act 1. Now we're technically out of bounds into the Act 2 area, so we're like in the loop back right here. Let me see if I can get this boss fight correctly. Alright, we're in there. So yes, we are fighting the Act 2 boss in Act 1. And there's actually a good reason for this, which I will explain in just a moment. Let me just make sure I don't mess up this boss fight here. I'm pretty much standing right, like off center to the left. Capsule's coming down, and once I see where Sonic is, I'm gonna jump up into it. And the screen down, and then do a bit of a shifty there. So we finish Act 1, even though we beat the Act 2 boss. So what's gonna happen here is it's gonna show the title as Marble Garden Act 2, but it's only gonna be there for 3 seconds, and it's gonna shift over to Carnival Night. So we're in Carnival Night, however, there is a caveat to this. Since I didn't complete Act 2 in general, on my file select screen, it's still in Marble Garden, and the only way the zone counter will go up is by finishing in Act 2. So what we need to do is get past Carnival Night Act 2 in order to progress the zone counter up 1 on the file select screen. Also, what's going on here is I did the wheel glitch in which Sonic's head touched the bottom of the wheel, and it gives us this weird property. The only way I can lose this glitch is by jumping. So I'm gonna attempt to not jump anywhere, with the exception of one platform. So here we have the Act 1 boss fight. We're gonna stand on the top here, gonna get a roll. Then the spinning top will... Uh-oh. I think we're fine. That was a little sketchy, but we made it work somehow. That was not supposed to happen, but we're fine. Okay, so I still have wheel glitch intact, but I cannot jump. I can still spin dash, I can roll, those are fine. And I can actually jump off of objects. So the object, like that spinning barrel, that I'm sure a lot of us got stuck on when we were kids, like in that one section of Carnival Night Act 2. We can jump off of that because that is considered an object, not solid ground. So that is like the only exception to this rule for wheel glitch. Oh, okay, let me see if I can salvage this here. Okay, I'm gonna slow down here a little bit. Want to make sure I don't lose wheel glitch here. Ah. This is fine. There we go. Okay. Somehow managed to salvage it. Oh no! We got the soft lock, unfortunately.
No.
Okay, so that would take us back to Marble Garden, but since we have a backup file, we'll just use this for the remainder of the run. Because that'll just cost too much time if I kept on going back to Marble Garden. So what I wanted to do there in that section was I needed to set up a spin dash to clip me inside the ceiling. And it would take me all the way to the boss fight without having to deal with the Barrel of Doom. So that's okay. I had a feeling it was going to happen at some point, but...
That's a marathon for you.
Indeed. That's totally fine. Alright, so we'll just do this again. And I'll probably do like the other setup for that instead of the one that I'm trying to go for. Luckily there's a backup setup that I can do. And since I am starting on a different file, it's actually going to mess up the memory address for this level, this zone in particular. I don't know why it happens that way, but for some reason there's like these chunks in the ceiling that we cannot see off screen. And it's going to pretty much stop Sonic in his tracks when we try to zip through the ceiling. But there is a backup for it in which we can mitigate that. Let's see if we can make this work. Okay, gonna hold left on that, land on this, bounce off that bat. That's what should have happened. Ah. Okay, this is still fine though. We're not all is completely lost. Still have wheel glitch, which is good. So now I'm just gonna jump on these barrels since, as I mentioned, they're not considered solid ground. So I still retain wheel glitch here. Okay, this part here. Go up into the ceiling. And spin dash, and then we are going to get stopped in our tracks shortly. Here, and I'm going to hold left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I soft lock again? I think I miscounted my...
No?
Yeah, I miscounted my pauses there. Alright, one more try for this. I had a feeling Carnival Night was gonna do something.
Just means we get to enjoy this fun Carnival Night music for longer.
Yeah, exactly. Alright. Do this one more time. If it doesn't work out, then we'll just shift over to Ice Cap. Alright, so back to this boss fight for the third time. Because apparently we can't get enough of it. Take the intentional hit here. Start rolling there. Gotta watch out for that spinning top. And you kind of notice that the top is actually bouncing wherever the screen boundary is. Not sure why that happens, but you know. One of those weird quirks in the game. Okay, third time's a charm, maybe? We'll see. Of course, this long countdown for the score, because we got just under a minute.
All right, all the positive vibes for this attempt. We got it this time.
Yeah, that's fine if I got hit there. Oh. Trying to pause buffer for a spin dash setup. Didn't quite get it. Go. Line up for that. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on this for a bit. There we go. Okay.
Hey, let's go. All right.
I was trying to aim for that bat this whole time. All right, we can progress.
That just looks wild. Like the what are you even looking at when you're doing that clip?
I'm actually looking at the stage background, or like the foreground of the level, I guess. Since
yeah.
I was mainly looking at that, and then I was trying to see where that tunnel was going to show up. And then when I saw where I was like, okay, then I can kind of shift over. Okay, so we do that reset to do a cutscene skip. And you know, let's just pretend that that would have made the file select one zone higher. So now we're heading into Ice Cap Zone, where we do nothing for 20 seconds. And then we're going to attempt a boss skip here. If we don't get the boss skip, we'll still fight the boss. It's basically the same thing as Marble Garden, in which we are going to be fighting the Act 1 or Act 2 boss in Act 1. So we got some hard times bumping. Okay, then we can slide down here. 2, 3, 4. Going to be setting up slope glitch, which we got. 1, 2, 3, roll. Okay, so I'm holding down. We're going diagonally. I'm going to be looking for a penguin, which is right there. Probably couldn't see that because I was going too fast. I think I overshot it a little bit. We were supposed to be in Knuckles' corridor, but we're in Sonic's right now. 1, 2. Hope I did this right. So we're just going to be jumping, hoping I'll end up in the boss fight here. Yep, we ended up in the boss fight. Okay, so we didn't get the boss skip, unfortunately, but we still got the backup strat where we end up fighting the boss anyway. Okay, that takes care of him. And as I mentioned, it's going to say got through Act 1. So we fought the Act 2 boss in Act 1 again. But there was a strat where I was trying to skip the boss altogether and just go straight into Launch Base. Okay, so we have Launch Base Zone. Got another cool trick coming up. We're going to have this Flybot follow us. We gotta make sure he's on screen, doesn't do anything crazy here. And we're going to be grabbing a Fire Shield for a damage boost, because we do want to keep our rings for this. Okay, so now we're going to stand on the edge of the elevator here. Spin dash inside, which we're not supposed to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, I didn't get the jump on there. So on that 5th pause, I actually paused 1 frame early. And I ended up getting soft locked inside the wall. But there is actually a way to save that too. Like if you end up getting a jump while getting the zip, you can still end up getting the level wrap that way. But it is more riskier. So that's why I try to time my jumps by doing pause buffering there. So you just kind of see me count like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because I do like 5 specific pauses to land on that frame. This is not an easy speedrun either. It is definitely pretty difficult, but it's really cool to show off at the same time. Unfortunately, didn't get the spin dash there. We're just gonna take an intentional death. Luckily, I don't have to worry about my life since I have like 20 of them. But these tricks are actually really cool. I would say like once you get past the Sonic 3 half, the and Knuckles half is a lot better, honestly. The Sonic 3 half, like we have like those 2 boss skips where we fight the bosses in Act 1 instead of Act 2. There's none of that in the and Knuckles half. Because we fight all the bosses or skip all the bosses. Well, we don't skip all the bosses. We skip like 1 in particular. Okay, there we go. We got the spin dash this time. 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got it this time. So now we are heading over into Knuckles' boss fight. And there's going to be 2 of those things instead of 1. But we just have to kill 1 of them right now. So here we are. Got 2 of these guys. I'm going to be timing my hits here. 3, 4, 5. And I want to see the timer be at 1 minute flat. There we go. This is mainly for the swinging arm rotation that this guy is doing right now. So that way I'll avoid it once I gain control of Sonic again. Okay, now we've killed him. I killed him too early. Alright, we'll have to play Launch Base Act 2 in its entirety. So what I wanted to do there is if I defeated that boss right before the screen shifted, it'll actually consider it an Act 2 completion. And by doing that, after doing the completion, Sonic won't be able to move. So the only thing to do at that point is reset the console, so that way the zone counter can go up by 1. But unfortunately, I jumped a little too early and ended up falling, so we'll have to play this level glitchless. So the reason for that trick is we can actually skip the fights for this level in particular. So there's like 3 boss fights that you gotta do. So actually no, there's only 2 because Big Arms isn't in this one. Only Knuckles fights Big Arm. So essentially there's 2 boss fights. Gonna go ahead and grab these for safety. So yeah, this is roughly like a 2-minute loss, which is fine. I mean, it's like the game knows it's a marathon.
Always seems to go that way in my experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Just means more video games to watch and more time for your wonderful and generous donations.
Exactly. That's what we're here for. We're raising money for No Kid Hungry.
Yeah, No Kid Hungry is a charity dedicated to providing meals for children in need, as well as supporting food banks and community groups that serve the areas that need it most. They provide emergency grants and expert guidance to schools and local community groups to help feed kids. And 100% of your donations during this marathon go directly to No Kid Hungry. So get those donations in. Got a couple incentives, got some prizes, including a set of Sonic Perlers that closes a little bit later tonight. So get those donations in. Check out the links in the chats.
All right, thank you very much. So here we are in Launch Base Act 2. We're taking the scenic route right now. And we see Knuckles, you know, doing his usual thing and just falls off. But he's totally fine.
Knuckles.
Yeah, he's totally fine. He's not harmed at all. So we're gonna be doing another boss fight here. And we're going to be utilizing our insta-shield to our advantage. Once we get out of the Sonic 3 half, then hopefully things will go smoothly, but and again, probably won't. Alright, we're gonna set ourselves up here. Okay, jump off of that. Ah, I almost had him. That's okay. That's the fight, that's it. I mean, it makes no sense because you don't fight Big Arms in this stage. Because only Knuckles fights him. So it just kind of just eliminates one boss fight, which is all good. Alright, heading into Mushroom Hill. So now we're in the and Knuckles half. Now we see Knuckles just kind of looking around here. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to clip into the ground using that door. I almost got in there. I'm gonna be utilizing some pause buffering as well. There we go. Okay, so we got in the ground. And then we're gonna jump one level down. Do a couple of jumps to manipulate subpixels. Alright, now I'm gonna pan the camera down. And then initiate a level wrap. So now we're at the end of the level. However, we're gonna be spawning the boss fight in a little lower than usual. So yeah, he's not supposed to be that low, but okay, now all of a sudden we're gonna see mushrooms show up out of nowhere. So we're inside a mountain right now, and we're gonna be skipping 2/3 of Mushroom Hill Act 2. How we're gonna do that? Well, we're gonna be jumping down 3 levels in the wall, and then we're just gonna do a level wrap. Not really a level wrap, more like a zip. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, line myself up to this thing right here. Hold left to zip right. Pin dash here into Knuckles' special stage corridor, and we skipped about 2/3 of the level. Normally the season would change here into like a more grayish color, but we still have the original color palette for this part. Okay, go up this pulley here, go up into the ceiling, grab the fire shield. That's 6 hits, we just need 2 more. There we go. That's the end of that level.
Do you have a moment for a donation?
Go for it.
The mysterious mage or Moruga's Swamp donates $20 and just says sorcery. Thank you very much for your donation.
I get that a lot. Alright, now we're gonna go into Flying Battery Zone. Okay, so what we're gonna do is gonna stand next to the zip line, pan the camera down, get a spin dash and a pause on the same frame, and we get this beautiful glitched out sprite called As Intended, by design, and intended. So we're just kind of walking through walls casually here.
I love this. Love this sprite. This is so good.
Yeah. So now I'm just holding right, and we're gonna go to the boss fight here. And I think one of our fellow members of the Sonic community deemed his name Mr. Tickles. So this is Mr. Tickles, everybody. He's just hitting himself right now. Oh.
Stop hitting yourself.
Stop hitting yourself. Yeah. So we gotta let him hit himself for 6 times. On the last hit, I'm gonna be standing next to the button to set up slope glitch again. Alright, it should be coming up right about here. I'm gonna stand right there to initiate slope glitch. So now I'm just in the air. And I need this for Act 2. Alright, so for Act 2, there's actually 2 routes I can go. There's a top route and the bottom route. We're gonna try to aim for the top route here. good, I think. Okay, go into the ceiling. Good. I'm just gonna stay back up here. So now I'm just gonna go to the right here. We're gonna skip basically the whole level. And then we're gonna skip the laser beam fight. So yeah, now we just gotta wait for the bridge to come up. So if you got anything else, feel free.
Just remind you that if you want to put your donation towards one of our wonderful incentives, all you need to do is mention the incentive in the donation comment. Got some more incentives coming up here. The next one is the debug mode demo for Electhead. You can throw some money towards that one. And then the other incentives that we have coming up are for Super Mario 3D World Bonus Run World Crown itemless. That is currently sitting at a 5 of $40. And then a Credits Warp bonus run of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which is sitting at 15 out of $40. Like I said, all you have to do to donate towards one of those incentives is put the donation incentive, mention that in your donation comment.
All right, excellent. We just finished up Flying Battery Act 2. I was standing next to the capsule because you can actually get a jump and save a few frames, actually. So, heading into Sendopolis. Let's see if I can do this correctly here. I'm going to be doing a 2-tap spin dash into the sandfall. Ah, missed it. So what I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to flip inside the slope there. There we go. Initiate the level wrap. This is actually supposed to be one of the easier level wraps to perform. And it is set to have 85% success rate on the guide for this. But I feel like whenever moments matter, this trick always messes up. But now we're just waiting for the pyramid to come up, and then we're gonna wait for this this guy right here, which is probably one of the most boring boss fights in the game. So we're just gonna wake him up, and we're just gonna stand over here and wait for him. So once he gets close by, we're just gonna push him into the sandfall there, and yeah.
The Crocomire of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, if you're familiar with Super Metroid.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Crocomire. Alright, so he's getting close by here. We're just gonna insta-shield, or just get hit. That works too. Gonna push him into the sand. Alright, I'm hoping I can get the fire shield here. Nah, I didn't get it. Okay, that's fine. So for Act 2, I want to mainly get the fire shield, but unfortunately we didn't get it, so we'll do the lightning shield route instead. Which I actually personally like the lightning shield route, but fire shield route is actually faster. But... oh, whoops. Actually, we're gonna do something cool here. We're gonna see if we don't let any of the ghosts appear. Alright, so I'm gonna stand up here. Alright, so you notice I didn't touch this capsule right here. That's the capsule that'll bring out the ghosts. But, since we didn't touch it, as long as I don't touch this checkpoint here, the ghost won't come out at all. So we can technically play in the dark. I mean, it's not like completely pitch black, but it just aesthetically looks cool. Alright, so now this section I'm going to try to go for a loop clip here. Alright, that's good. So we're going to be skipping the entire auto-scroller section of the sand rising up, as this level is infinitely vertical. We're able to do the screen wraps here like we did in Marble Garden. Alright, gonna clip ourselves inside the wall using this crusher here. And intentionally lose the lightning shield because we don't need it anymore. Alright, I'm gonna jump over that. If I end up touching the checkpoint there, it will bring out the ghosts. So just trying to avoid that until the very end of it. Get up here. I'll touch the last checkpoint so you can see, like, for a split second the ghosts are going to come out. There they are. And there they go. And we get the boss fight with no music. And that's Sando too.
Too fast for music.
Yeah, it's like I ended up starting the boss fight right away, and since it didn't start moving itself, like for some reason the music just doesn't play. Now we're into Lava Reef, which has one of my favorite tracks in the game. Or as Argic would like to call it, Lava Beef, or I think he misspelled it in his splits or something. But... Alright, so you can actually get a clip inside this here. There's a faster way to do that, but I think it's pixel dependent. Or I guess depending on how your spin dashes perform. Alright, so we're just going to traverse through here normally. There is a level wrap you can do as well, but it is pretty risky. So we'll just do the regular strat instead. So we're just going to spin dash up here. Flip inside the wall, which we didn't quite get. So I need this elevator to be at a specific height. That should be good. Now we're able to clip inside. And as I mentioned earlier in the run, the fire shield will protect us from fire and lava. We're kind of able to run across it here. There will be one difficult trick that I will go for called the monitor clip. It would save a lot of time. Also, I need to lose this fire shield. If I can manage to get the monitor clip, that'll be pretty good, and then I can save like a minute on the run. But it's pretty finicky. Okay, so now we're at the boss fight for Act 1. Get ourselves up here. Gonna pop up again. We'll get the last 3 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, let's see if we can get a monitor clip here. I think it was a frame off. So what was supposed to happen there is if I got the positives correctly, it would send Sonic into the ground and he'll be able to clip inside. And you can initiate a level wrap to the very end of the level, which saves over a minute. But since we didn't get that, we'll play through Lava Reef 2. But it is actually a pretty cool level itself anyway. It's just a shame that it's such a big time loss, but, you know, it is what it is. Still got a couple more tricks coming up. You know, we got Sky Sanctuary, and then we got Death Egg. Can lose a fire shield there, it's no big deal. Of course, utilizing the insta shield to get through those spike balls. Didn't quite time the insta shield correctly there. It's gonna give me a good cycle. Almost. You can actually get through the tiny gap on the right side. Alright, got the double, that's pretty good. Alright, so now we're gonna head into what's supposed to be the boss fight area for Sonic. But we're gonna be skipping the boss fight. We're gonna try to get a stair clip here. We're gonna try to clip inside that second step, dip into Knuckles' corridor, and we're done with the level with the floating Death Egg thing. Alrighty. So now we're gonna be up against Knuckles here. Gonna have a bit of a boss fight. And if anybody's played Sonic Adventure before, where we fought Knuckles, he'll say, "Oh no," after every hit. Oh no. We just gotta hit him 8 times. And then we got a mini cutscene here, so if you have any donations or anything like that to read, feel free.
Just a reminder, this is the SpeedGaming Spring Marathon benefiting No Kid Hungry, a charity with the mission of ending childhood hunger. You can get the donation link by typing !NKH in the chat, by looking in our Twitch profile, or by going to speedgaming.org/NoKidHungry. Thanks everybody for helping us support a great cause.
Yeah, thanks for all the donations so far. I just did 3 slinkies there, so that's pretty good. And we're heading into Sky Sanctuary. Alright, so I'm gonna be waiting here for a bit. And once I see Knuckles jump off the launcher there, that's when I'm going to release the spin dash. That is to catch a cycle for the bar that's going up and down. I'm going to try to get it at its lowest point. Or as it's going upward, actually. There we go, salute. Release it there. There we go. Got the timing for that. Oh, just missed the lightning shield. Okay, then we're gonna do the screen wrap here because this is also another infinitely vertical level. So we're at the top of the stage now. We don't have to fight the 2 Mecha Sonic fights, in which we revisit the Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 boss fights. Also, why can I not get the spin dash here? Oh my gosh! Like the ceiling that's up here is like in my way. There we go. Goodness gracious. Okay, so we lose the lightning shield on purpose so we can do the insta shield hits. Okay, so that's the end of that. Now we got Death Egg coming up. Okay. I might be slightly overestimate here, unfortunately.
That is all good. More marathon.
Yeah. Alright, so we got Death Egg Zone here. Gonna try to set up for a mini zip. Okay. Gonna see if I can get this clip here. Ah, jumped a little late. So what I tried to do there is I tried to clip inside the wall to set up a mini zip, and that'll skip like over 30 seconds of the level just from that alone. Let me try this setup here. Okay, that worked. And that is Graviton Skip, which is actually not a marathon safe thing to do, but I managed to get it anyway because I've been going for it for a while and I've been pretty consistent with it, so I was like, why not? Let's do it. That saves about 7 seconds. So throughout the course of that right there, that's like 37 seconds saved. And now we're coming up against Red Eye, which is a very annoying boss fight. There's 2 phases to this fight. Okay, if we get hit there, it's inevitable. We do want to keep our rings. Okay, then we got phase 2 coming up. Almost got the perfect 8 hits, but we'll take it. All right, I got one more level to go and a few boss fights. All right, so just like in Hydro City 2, we're going to take an intentional death at the beginning to unload Act 1 from Act 2. And that'll allow us to perform the level wrap once we get there. All right, we need this lightning shield. I'm going to let this staircase go back to its original state. Yeah, do some pause buffering to clip inside a wall. Alright, we're in there. Try to focus on this here. Alright, we got it. So when you see that the rings is lined up inside that beam there, that's when you know you got the level wrap. You can either be a frame early or a frame late. But that is actually a good frame. And now we got the ooh ball here. Because it says ooh whenever it moves. And ooh ball, I guess whoever, I think is the Ubisoft guy. Always like to pick, likes to pick fights whenever someone talks bad about his games or something. That's what we named him after. Alright, well, I think one more hit should do it. There we go. Okay, so now for these last 3 boss fights, I'm going to be doing the spin dash right here. It's going to shift the screen over a little bit. And basically, the last 2 blocks of this part, or I think it's 3, there's no solid ground there, so I can actually fall off and die. But we need that for the second phase of the boss fight. Okay, this is the fingers fight. It's gonna be a 4 cycle. Okay, then we got the phase 2 fight, which is why we did the screen shift. Because we can just do a quick kill just like this. And then we got our final phase coming up. Then time's gonna be on screen fade out. Almost got the 7th hit there. Alright, that is it. And that is time.
GG's.
Whew. Yeah, thank you. Well, a couple minutes over estimate, but you know, that's the nature of the beast with this game. It is actually a really fun speedrun. But anyways, I don't want to take up too much time. My name is SuperSonic. You can find me on Twitch at SuperSonic_. I'll say hi in the chat later. You can catch me on there. And also stay tuned for the following runs and keep enjoying the marathon. And thanks for SpeedGaming for having me. Until then, I bid you all adieu.